Welcome to the Suicide Prevention Series brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority. September is Suicide Prevention Month, and over the course of the next few minutes, we will tackle some of the complex conversations surrounding this very important issue. I'm Arabina Apia. Thanks so much for joining me. Suicide is not something to be taken lightly. It's a tragedy that affects millions of people around the world, both directly and indirectly. And because the root causes may vary, it is important for us as a community to address these concerns from all sides of the conversation. One very important aspect of this conversation is the role of the church in navigating issues related to mental health. Joining me now is Reverend Angela Palacious. She is the Anglican Hospital Chaplain at the Princess Margaret Hospital. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about the role of the church. Why is addressing mental health and suicide so important to the church?
Well, it's particularly important for several reasons. One of the reasons is that we are made in God's image, and we are taught to love the Lord with all our heart and soul and mind and strength, and to love our neighbor as ourselves. And in order to love myself, I need to care about myself in body, mind, and spirit. And the same thing for you. I want the same for my neighbor. So wanting to have persons to be concerned with their mental health is crucial from when they are children, to be nurturing them and guiding them and helping them to grow into the best possible version of themselves that they can be. Another important reason for us to have the conversation is that life is a gift. And if you come to the point where you no longer cherish that gift, you definitely need a supportive community to help you to rediscover your purpose, your passion, your identity, to just be there to offer you that support until such time as you embrace life again more fully. Another reason I believe is important is that we're supposed to be engaged in Christian education to promote Christian character formation. And so that means that we have an opportunity to teach people about proper habits, about self-discipline, about anything to do with health in body, mind, and spirit. It's for us to be promoting that level of education. Also, we have influence. And so the fourth reason is that we have a great number of persons involved with the institution of the church. So if they are aware and educated, they not only can live their own life according to those principles and values, but they're able to influence in their home, in their workplace, at school, in their community. So that way we are able to reach larger sections of the population with the wisdom that we believe has to do with taking care of the temple of the Lord and being able to think clearly and make wise choices, those sorts of things.
I want to go back to something that you said earlier about helping people rediscover the gift that is life, helping them to embrace the gift that is life. In cases like this, when do you know, as a chaplain, when do you know that it's time to maybe refer someone to a mental health professional?
I think when you recognize first and foremost that you are out of your own depth, let's put it that way. When you are feeling overwhelmed, or you recognize that there are issues that go beyond just pastoral counseling, that it's time to, what I call in the team, have a network, persons have an approach that allows you to bring the best to the person's care and offer different levels of knowledge and expertise. And so I think when you come across a person with addictions and you've been talking with the person and praying with the person and they're promising to change and obviously cannot, then it's obviously time for someone else to come in and assist. You have somebody who's threatening to take their own life, and you know that they have either planned how they might do this, that they have tried before, then you know that the person is really on the edge, and you want to make sure that persons who deal with this on a regular basis are called in immediately to make a difference, because time is of the essence. I think too, that if there's domestic violence, if there's abuse, if there are any kinds of behaviors that endanger other family members, then you have to act immediately to make a difference in that regard.
What is your advice to people who might present with mental health challenges and they're told, just pray about it. God is going to give you the answer. Is prayer enough? And what advice would you give to those sorts of people in that situation?
I would say pray indeed, because prayer is powerful. But I do believe that God has gifted other persons to be able to be a part of the answer to those prayers, and how not to refuse the help that could very well be the God-ordained help that you need. And so I believe that it's a both and, particularly when you can determine that the person is operating with the kind of thinking that is such a challenge to them being able to live a normal life, that we need to get them, on, if need be, on medication, or we need to have therapy at other levels. So I think that today we are dealing with holistic approaches to things. And so a holistic approach to body, mind, and spirit. And I would say to the person, if you had an accident and broke your leg, there would be no shame in going to the hospital for treatment. And so there should be no stigma or shame associated with getting help for mental health issues.
Absolutely.
We have to do it as a team. And I believe the more we educate our people to become comfortable, and I think it's so important for the whole population to understand that God is in our midst and working in different ways, and that we all want to bring out the best in each other. And it's extremely important to give respect where it's due, and to work, all of us as professionals, spiritual, mental, physical, professional, all of us dealing with health at any level should be working together.
Well, I want to thank you very much for being here, Reverend Palacious.
Thank
You've
you.
been very, very insightful. A lot of good information. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right. We'll have more in just a moment. Are you or someone you know struggling with suicidal thoughts or ideations? You don't have to go it alone. You can reach out for help. Call the Crisis Center at 328-0922, People Helping People at 698-0155, the mental health professionals at the Sandlands Rehabilitation Center at 364-9600, or the Community Counseling and Assessment Center at 323-3293.